very difficult even more because they make the fight even more hard. But you know, I'm gonna do my job. If the knockout comes, welcome.
What did you think of Berlanga throwing a parade for himself just for going 12 rounds with you? Did you see those videos?
Oh my God!
Driving down the interstate partying.
That's I don't want to talk shit about that, but you know, that's a little bit weird because when you lost, you don't need to celebrate, right? And they asking who did better than the other and all that stuff. But you know, I don't care about that.
Nowadays, it's a moral victory for a lot of these champions or a lot of these top contenders to go the distance for you.
Yeah.
Moral victory, but not a real victory to take the title from you.
That's a mediocre mind. That's what I think.
Mediocre mind.
Yeah. You've got a guy on this card that was in your camp in Jaime Munguia who you beat last year. It's a huge fight for Jaime Munguia coming off that loss to Bruno Saras. You've been training alongside him for this fight. Can you tell us what you've seen in him? How ready is he for this type of challenge?
What I see, obviously, we train in different times. Sometimes we train together, we help each other and everything. What I see, he's ready to take revenge on Saturday, for sure.
Canelo, how are you going to celebrate if you get the win? How are you going to celebrate Cinco de Mayo here in Saudi Arabia? What are you going to do?
Go out for breakfast, basically?
Take a breakfast with my family and then...
Non-alcoholic Coronas.
Yeah, zero. You know, we're going to find out a way with Mexicans, so...
Maybe we'll go hit Denny's together or something.
Yeah.
Thanks for swinging by. Canelo Alvarez, we'll see you tomorrow at the Open Workouts, ladies and gentlemen. He is the super middleweight champion of the world and looks to become undisputed yet again Saturday night against William Scull. Part of this massive doubleheader Friday and Saturday night. Of course, first up from Times Square, it's Fatal Fury. Garcia versus Romero, also on the card. Devin Haney, as well as Teofimo Lopez. And then it's what we're here for. Canelo Alvarez taking on William Scull, as well as Jaime Munguia, trying to get revenge against Bruno Saras. That fight is going to be off the charts as both men promise to get a knockout. Remember, you can keep up to date on all the events on offer by heading to the DAZN platform and going to the schedule section, where you'll find all the live action, including some domestic dust-ups from the UK. Someone else wrote that. We would never say dust-ups.
I think you said duck stuff.
Duck soup. I've had that. And look at all these fights you had to look forward to. June 28th, Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr.
I'm ready and I'm coming to take the title and nothing else.
I want to achieve my maximum. I want to do everything I can do, and being a two-weight world champion is my next step.
This is the Hurt Game.
Unbelievable, CT.
This has got the recipe for fight of the year.
Work there from Kakachi. Good shot from Lee Woods.
Watch this fight. This is going to be a standout fight this year.
So that will happen Saturday, May 10th. Anthony Kakache defending his IBO Super Featherweight World title against Lee Wood. May 24th, Josh Taylor makes his Queensbury debut, moving to welterweight to face Eko Usman in Glasgow. And then we go around the world to Australia as IBF Cruiserweight champion Jai Opetaia defends his title from the Gold Coast on June 8th. All part of 185 fight nights each year live on DAZN. All right, guys, before we go, big press conference earlier today, or maybe it's yesterday, I get the time messed up. But we do have Alexander Usyk defending his title against Daniel Dubois. That's going to be at Wembley Stadium in July. That fight is going to be big, and I think it's not going to be the same fight we saw when they squared off in Poland. This is a different Dubois now.
I think it's going to be very different. Daniel Dubois has grown in game and grown in confidence since that fight 2 years ago against Alexander Usyk. You look at his last three fights, against Filip Hrgović, against Anthony Joshua, against Jarrell Miller. You have seen his confidence grow every single time. And now he has another fight under his belt with trainer Don Charles, who's made a remarkable impact on the career of Daniel Dubois. He's got to get a little better at some of this stuff, some of the pre-fight antics. And we saw the call out in the ring. That was a little bit awkward. That push, a little bit uncomfortable. But Daniel Dubois is, I think, going into this fight in a lot better position to win than he was 2 years ago.
Dubois has momentum. He has confidence. Even if it's false confidence, he carries himself like a champion now. So you can bet that he's going to be aiming for the body. The body of Usyk is still suspect. I still think it wasn't a low blow. You can bet Triple D is going to keep going for that body, going for that knockout. And look, we know that Usyk, if he gets past those early rounds, he's a sniper. From that southpaw stance, he can pick you apart. It's going to be an explosive fight, but it's going to be a better fight.
I don't know if you heard this earlier today. Usyk was around Daniel Dubois' team, and they were chanting that it was a low blow, and Usyk said, no, that's if you fight on the street. He goes, I'll tell you what, I'll pick myself and 3 guys, you pick 4 guys, and we'll go downtown London and fight on the street, and then we'll see who wins that.
Yeah, the reality of this punch was it was not a low blow. It was just below the belt line. You see how Alexander Usyk went down, and the way Louis Pabon, the referee, called it immediately as a low blow. Gave him an extensive amount of time, gave him the full 5 minutes to recover, but after that, it was all Alexander Usyk. Look, I love that Dubois coming into this fight with the belief that he should have a knockout win over Alexander Usyk. I think it's going to make him mentally better than, hey, I lost every minute of this fight and was eventually knocked out by Usyk. So I love that he's got the mentality that I should have been awarded a knockout that time. Maybe it'll help him coming in with the confidence to win this time.
Who do you give the edge to?
Look, Usyk's still one of the greatest fighters ever. I mean, one of the greatest fighters in 25 years, so he has to be the favorite. He finds a way to break down these giants. I mean, he's been fighting giant after giant since 2019. So look, of course Usyk is a favorite, but Dubois already experienced him, already felt that power, felt the speed, the timing, that southpaw angle. Dubois is going to have a better chance.
I think one of the best awards you can win in boxing is the fighter of the decade. If Usyk beats Dubois, I know there's still 5 years left to go in this decade. Is he your fighter of the decade?
God, I'm going to say something and then somebody's going to fact check me on somebody else. But he'd have to be on a very, very, very short list. Let me just say that. To have 2 wins over Anthony Joshua, 2 wins over Tyson Fury, a win over Daniel Dubois. That's legacy-defining type of stuff. And, you know, Alexander Usyk, his career may not be over. Says he wants to fight at least one more time after this. So, yeah, fighter of the half-decade, probably make it Alexander Usyk.
That's the easy one. All right, and we'll be back at it again, right back here in Riyadh tomorrow for the media workout. You'll see the guys hitting pads, moving around a little bit. Maybe we can get some insight as to what's going to go down Saturday night when Saul Canelo Alvarez faces William Scull for the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world. For Chris Mannix, Claudia Trejos, and Sergio Mora, I'm Todd Grisham. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night.
Live on DAZN Worldwide, Saturday, May 3rd, 7 p.m. Eastern, Canelo versus Scull. The King stakes his legacy once more for the undisputed crown. Standing in his way is Warrior Scull, undefeated and poised to decimate the division. On a knockout weekend of boxing. Get Canelo versus Scull, Saturday, May 3rd. Live exclusively on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.